Welcome to NC News Wrap, sponsored by Groundforce Shorco, where we bring you some of the month's biggest stories in a quick 5-minute roundup. Roads and energy projects dominate the list of 138 schemes to be accelerated as part of Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng's growth plan. There are 86 roads projects on the list. Along with the Stonehenge Tunnel, these include the A428 Black Cat, A66 Northern Transpennine and the Norwich Western Link. Meanwhile, energy projects take up 21 spots on the list. These include Hinkley Point C and Sizewell C. Also on the list are 10 rail projects, including Northern Powerhouse Rail, East-West Rail and the Transpennine route upgrade. Prime Minister Liz Truss has since committed to building the full Northern Powerhouse Rail route from Liverpool to Hull. In other news, the final sections of the Edinburgh Trams to Newhaven track are soon to be laid, as the project prepares for the electrification of the full line. The £207.3 million scheme is being delivered by the City of Edinburgh Council, contractors Sacker, Farrans, Neopool, Turner and Townsend and Morrison Utility Services. The line will connect Leith and Newhaven to the current end of the tram line at York Place. It is on schedule to open in spring 2023, despite several unexpected challenges.
I think that the principal challenges that we've faced are those that were unforeseen at the beginning of the project. So the COVID-19, the war in Ukraine and the associated materials shortages and labour supply issues, which of course have been faced across the construction industry, so we're not unique in that. I think where we've worked to overcome them, the strategies that have been best have been the collaborative working. So working across the supply chain with the contractors, with the advisory team and between the client and the communities that we work within has been the key to kind of overcoming that.
Getting to this point, you know, there's been hundreds upon hundreds of issues that we've needed to resolve, whether it be below ground issues, whether it be design issues, and working collaboratively together as a team, but also with third parties like utility companies, with the existing operator, Edinburgh Trams, with Lothian Bus, with stakeholders, you know, wider stakeholders. You know, the collaborative nature of how we've delivered this project hasn't necessarily just sat within the four walls of this project. It's actually expanded a bit further outside of that in terms of those stakeholders, and having that collaborative nature has allowed us to tackle problems head on.
So what other construction challenges did the project encounter?
There have been sections of the work that have been particularly challenged, especially, you know, the Constitution Street that we've been looking at earlier. So that's so we've been very close to businesses, to people, and there were utilities pretty much everywhere.
The tram extension follows the original Edinburgh Trams project, which completed in 2014, £400 million over budget and 5 years late. Lessons from this project have impacted the current one.
Key is to have industry standard contracts. We've taken that forward by using NEC throughout our contracting package. A close relationship between the client and delivery, so not using a third party as happened on the previous phase of tram. A single work site, so single dig, large work sites to allow us to deal with issues as they arise. And I think that although it's perhaps not an identified lesson of the last project, I think coming back to that collaboration aspect, having everybody co-located here has meant that where issues have arisen, we've really dealt with those quickly before they've got a chance to take root and cause problems in delivery.
A High Court judge has granted HS2 Limited a route-wide injunction, preventing protesters from disrupting construction of the high-speed railway. The area affected and the potential numbers of people excluded make this the largest injunction in English legal history. Meanwhile, the risk of a leak from the Nordstrom gas pipelines was estimated to be a 1 in 100,000 year event by the asset operator. An official investigation is underway into the leaks in the pipelines which transport natural gas from Russia to Germany. The official emergency repair plan drawn up in 2016 by Nordstrom AG concludes, owing to the high quality of the materials involved and the conservative design of the pipelines, damage and deformation are highly unlikely. In fact, the probability of pipeline failure or leakage is as low as 1 damage event every 100,000 years. And finally, TfL Commissioner Andy Byford has resigned from the role just weeks after TfL accepted a £3.6 billion capital funding settlement from the Department for Transport. Byford has been at the helm of the capital's transport operator throughout the funding negotiations after it was hit by pandemic-driven revenue losses. He also played a key role in pushing forward the delivery of Crossrail. Thank you for watching NCE News Wrap. Join us again next month for another roundup. This news wrap was brought to you by New Civil Engineer in partnership with Groundforce Shoreco. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content, but for now, here's a bit more information on our sponsor.
Groundforce Shoreco are the leading supplier of shoring equipment in the UK and Ireland, delivering first-class engineering and designs, exceptional service, and the highest quality kit for over 40 years, from the smallest excavations to the largest. Groundforce Shoreco, experts in excavation safety.